everyone, welcome to Budgetwithsue. I'm Suleka and today we're going to have a look at my review for my April budget. I'm going to show you guys how well I managed to stick with it, and it was an average month. I had some hits and misses, and that's just life, I guess. To see how I did, let's move on to the Google Sheets budget. Okay guys, so this is my Google Sheets for the budget of April, and if you guys want to watch how I set it up first, here's the link up in the cards, and if you want to watch that first and come back and watch this, you're more than welcome to do so. But if you've already seen it, then this is the review for that budget, and let's get into it. This is the income that I'm working with. This is after I have minus off what I put aside for my bills. So that's 4,763 ringgit and 66 cents, which is 489 ringgit and 44 cents over what I anticipated, which is one of the wins for April. This is mainly because I don't actually anticipate anything for the other and rollover categories, and that's because I just prefer to budget with less than what I expect to get. The bulk of it does come from my on-call claim. So for anyone who doesn't know, I am a medical officer in the government sector, and we do on-calls in the hospital. We claim additional compensation for that. So that is what I put in my other. When I plan for it, I usually put 0. That's just to make sure that I am budgeting with the least amount of money that I would expect in any given month. That's why it's always nice to have made a little bit more at the end of the month than I expected. So that's for April. My bills are usually the same. Again, it's blocked out for privacy's sake. For PTPTN, which is my student loan, it is the same at 818 ringgit and 63 cents. My car also, I'm not putting anything extra to that at this point in time, so that's getting 453 ringgit. And for my credit card, I ended up putting 594 ringgit towards it. And next are my expenses, which is both a hit and miss this month. So for my transport, I managed to keep it to 48 ringgit and 50 cents. This is, I wish it was always like this, but this is a fluke because my brother was around. He had come back from working overseas, and he was using my car at one point, and he topped up the petrol for me, and I think my dad did it once as well. So I managed to get away with just filling it up once, which is why we're doing really well for transport. But again, it's a fluke, it's a one-off thing, and next month we'll be back to normal. And it's good that we were way under in transport because I was over in food. And I know I was supposed to get a handle on my eating out, and I haven't yet, but I've planned the days which I will bring food from home, which will greatly minimize the amount that I'm spending. Bulk of it is workday lunches, and also I deserve it kind of things, and I need to get a handle on that. I said it before and I will keep saying it until I actually get a handle on it. So for food, there's not much, but still over 460 ringgit and 12 cents. For other, I didn't have any miscellaneous spending. And a rollover, we'll come back to that at the end. So for my general savings, I'm looking down because I have my notes here, in case you're wondering. For my general savings, I put 82 ringgit and 3 cents towards it. My emergency fund got 250 ringgit, which I'm really happy about. My investments got 181 ringgit and 50 cents. Moving on to my sinking funds. So halfway through the month, I had a look at my sinking funds, and I changed a few things related to the amount that was my goal to save for each fund. So that's why you'll see a lot of changes here compared to what I had initially planned for. So my stationery is getting 60 ringgit and 23 cents. My potluck contribution, nothing. Entertainment, nothing. My subscriptions got the 55 ringgit planned. Before I go on to giving, let's go down to apparel, which is the reason why there is the biggest change. So I had put a goal of 1,000 ringgit for my apparel. I'm anticipating this to be in a year. I had to think and I thought that perhaps that was too excessive, so I am making do with what I have for now, and because of that I dropped my apparel goal to 500. For me, apparel includes clothes, shoes, accessories, things like that. So because I did drop it down to 500, I had 410 ringgit that I could allocate within the rest of my sinking funds, which is what I did. So that is a minus 410 ringgit, which brings me to giving, which got 100 ringgit. Treat yourself. I'm not actively saving for anything that I want for myself right now. So the interest that I gain from the account that I have my sinking funds in, I put it towards the Treat Yourself account. So that was just 2 ringgit and 39 cents. Personal development got 310 ringgit and 27 cents. So 300 ringgit of that came from my on-call claims, which is what I usually designate my on-call claims for, one of my sinking funds. And I actually got 10 ringgit and 27 cents in interest from another account that that I have half of my sinking funds in, and that's where the 310 ringgit and 27 cents has come from. Toiletries got 50 ringgit. UT also got 50 ringgit. Gifts actually got 526 ringgit and 80 cents, which is awesome. Why? Christmas got the usual 100. My car insurance, which is due next week, it got its 102 ringgit and 102 ringgit and 76 cents. Car maintenance, nothing for my dogs. Electronics, home. My professional development was also not. My travel got the allocated 281 ringgit and 25 cents. Run for FD leather. Medical, actually I decided to only put 600 ringgit, and I used the 300 ringgit to go towards my credit card debt repayment. So that is a change that I had to make halfway through the month, and it's a change that I'm implementing for the next couple of months. I explain more in my budget with me for May, so I will link that video down for you guys as well and in the cards. And finally, drum roll, yes, I have extra 47 ringgit and 18 cents, so that is going into my rollover. So I will just leave that in my account, and that will just be like a buffer. So I'm really happy to have some money left over. It's not a lot, but I will take it, and maybe I'll consider putting even more towards my debt for next month. So that was my April budget review, and I am honestly really excited for May. If you haven't seen my May budget with me, I will link it down in the description and in the card above. And I am grateful for everything I managed to accomplish in April. I'll see you guys next week. Bye!